It starts.
We're riding. Hype happy hour, talking about life, so you might feel empowered. Hype happy hour, tornado on the mic with a guest giving flowers. Hype happy hour, tools, interviews provide life tapping power. Hype happy hour, positive and light with advice, build your tower. Happiness is key, so you gotta bring the smiles out. Inspiration needs a bit of passion to just wild out. Positivity and optimism when we ride out. Enthusiasm and dreams, gotta feed them till your time's out.
Let's go. Hyped Happy Hour, episode 12 with my guy, XPRESSO. We are coming in hot. I created a company, Gentle Tornado, called Live Hyped. Hyped is an acronym that stands for happiness, inspiration, positivity, enthusiasm, and dreams. And I created my logo as an H with a heartbeat in the middle because we don't know how many heartbeats we have. So we live here at Hyped every single day. Like we don't know what's next and we keep going 100%. The goal of this podcast is to bring awareness to the words within Hyped and to help people live an easier, better life that they will be more grateful for and bridge Web3 with that, with personal life. So I am joined on episode 12 with my man, XPRESSO, who is an incredible human, a nice guy, a hilarious guy, a fellow Italian. We are basically blood brothers. My man, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Yeah, thanks for bringing me on the podcast, man. We're bridging Web 2 and Web 3, bro. We got, like I said, a building. We're bridging.
Let's go. Let's go. I love that, dude. So I like to start it off straight away with what you're grateful for. So what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful to be awake at 9:45. Usually passed out by then, but I'm grateful for my son, my wife, the internet connection working, be able to be on your podcast, bro. So I'm very grateful for letting me come on here and grace your what is this, the 4th or 5th episode?
This is the 12th. You're the 12th, dude.
Fuck,
Yeah.
12th episode.
You're episode 12, dude. So so I'm grateful to have you. I appreciate you doing it late at night. Being fellow dads, we got to do shit at night. So let's just get straight into it. This is one of my favorite things is I want a 2 to 3 minute origin story about, childhood to now. How did we get here? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right. So childhood, I was born in the 80s. I am 36. So I was born in 86. I was a big brother. So I was the one of 2 siblings. So me and my sister were together from probably since I was 3. My parents got divorced, and then my sister was born right then, and we've been together ever since. You know how divorced families go. You have different Christmases together, stuff like that. So your sister's like your best friend, and I moved up. Probably went. I would say that we moved up in a pretty good. We had a pretty good childhood. We grew up in a pretty, I would say, I don't know, like privileged situation. My mom got remarried to my stepdad, Randy. He's been a blessing. He's helped us get through so many situations. He was a little more, let's say, gracious with his time with me and my sister. Usually when you have a stepfather or something like that, they usually don't put as much time as they should since they're not your original kids. But my stepdad just put tons of effort into me and my sister, and we never felt left out about anything. I graduated, went to high school, played, I was a multi-sport athlete in high school, played baseball, played football, got a baseball scholarship, went to college, played baseball, tore my rotator cuff, started, so I had to look for a job. So I never graduated from college, but then I went into UPS and delivering at UPS for seasonal. And then I started doing that full time. And then I moved my way from UPS seasonal to FedEx full time. And now been at FedEx for 14 years, delivering for FedEx, and was married 2 years ago to my wife, Desiree. We just had our son 1 year ago. I probably got into crypto in 2020, and went probably full-time NFTs in August of last year. So now I'm just like, I used to like dabble between crypto and NFTs, and I was like, you got to find a niche. So I basically went full-time NFTs and haven't looked back since, man. So it's been a crazy opportunity. NFTs have definitely changed my life, changed your life. It's definitely something that I always like to be in the front end of trends, and like to be like the trendsetter or the leader. And I think NFTs are a perfect fit because we're like pioneering this industry and we're early. And I feel like if we do what you keep doing, what you're doing, and I keep doing what I'm doing, I feel like that we would be looked at in 4 or 5 years as like, hey, these people pioneered this space. These are the people we look to build communities in Web3, and like can be considered somewhat of a advisor and an expert on how to do this Web3 thing and the NFT thing. So I think building a brand and building a community is probably the best thing you can do right now, especially in a bear market where there's not a lot of attention and people are moving away from crypto and NFTs and doing more things in real life. Like there's less engagement than ever. But I feel like when we're here building, when there's no one here, when people come back, we're going to be just so more well versed and better off, because we're going to have our ear to the ground this whole time, and we're going to pick up the trends and the stuff that comes back when the bull comes back. So it's
I
exciting,
love
man.
it, dude. I love it. That was a lot of good stuff. A few things I have to ask you is like, so you worked at UPS, so you've been at FedEx for 14 years. So when you were like 22, you said you were 36, right?
Yeah. So like 23, 24 is when I started working full time pretty much. Yeah. So
So
yeah.
what's the difference? Like, how is FedEx way better? Is that why you made that shift, or you
Mm,
just got that opportunity?
UPS is, so my dad worked at UPS. He got me on. So when you work at UPS, it's very it's union, and there's a lot of people that have working their way up for a long time, from package handling to car washing, to just get a route. So like you can't go seasonal straight into UPS. There's a lot of red tape and politics that happen. But UPS, what they do is they're like official with like driving and like safety, and like that translates to any other driving delivery service. So when I had all that training from UPS and I went to FedEx, they're like, hell yeah, we'll take you on. Like you got everything you got to take. And at the time I didn't have a job, so I was like, I'll take whatever job I could possibly get. And I just worked for FedEx. I had some bad routes at first, but now I've been working there for the longest. I have one of the better routes. I get paid pretty good. I have a lot of vacation time. So like working your butt off for 14 years, you get like privileges and stuff at FedEx also. So yeah, it's been fun. And hopefully, FedEx isn't my only job for the rest of my life. Hopefully I can transition into Web3 sometime and do that full time. I think that's all our goals in this space, is to
Yeah.
get Web3 full time and not have to do do two things at once. Like it's kind of hard to balance being a dad and a father and working and doing spaces and Web3 and get it all and like be good at it. Like I want to be good at it. So like there has to be some things that be sacrificed, and like hopefully when you quit that full-time job and go Web3, that you can just sacrifice your time in a better way, where you can just do Web3 and just research and do all that stuff you would usually do without having a
Yes.
job in the way.
I love that. So for everybody listening that doesn't know XPRESSO, this dude is a dad. He works a full-time FedEx route, and he hosts a space in the mornings from through Tuesday through Saturday from I think
Yep.
9:30 Central to 1, right?
Around 1.
I mean,
Depends on how the room goes. Yeah, usually end
listen,
at 1.
nobody has any excuses out here, and that's why I wanted to bring you on, because you're doing it. You're going for it, and that's what I admire. And so I love that. Another question that I would love to ask is, like, you said you got into crypto in 2020. How did you get in? Like, did someone tell you? How were you introduced to it?
Yeah, one of my managers at FedEx was like, "Yo, you got to get in this Bitcoin thing." I'm like, "Bitcoin?" Like, yeah, I heard. Like, I back in 2016, I heard Bitcoin with Silk Road and the drugs, and it was for terrorism. And I heard about it, and that's how I kind of heard about it back in 2016. And then the guy in 2020, he's like, "Yo, you got to get in this Bitcoin." I'm like, "Yeah, man, but it's like $12,000 or whatever it is per Bitcoin." He's like, "Dude, you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of it." I was like, "Oh, no way." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh shit." I put $50 in there, 50, 20, kept putting a little money here and there. And it turned out to be a pretty good investment after the COVID dump. And that was something that really scared the crap out of a lot of us. But like after that V-shaped recovery happened, it was onwards with all the money printing and all the liquidity that came into the market. It was crazy. Like it went from think from 15 to 30 within like a month. I think November to January, it went all the way from 15 to 30. And that was like, wow, like that $20 to $50, like I wish I put like $1 million in.
That was great. And then it shot to, I could set, what was our high? 69, 70,000?
Yeah, it was like 60, and then we had that dump in May, and then it recovered back in September to like 69, 420 was the high, and then like you knew that was gonna be it, you know.
It was
They figured that out. They're like, we got to get the 69, 420, and then we dump it, and then like dump it.
That's awesome. One of my really good friends, Adam, bought a whole Bitcoin at 69,000. So he's riding hard right now, dude. He's so long Bitcoin, so it's okay. He's not upset about it. But I love it, dude. I love that you're now full into NFTs and you're going at it. And I love to come in your show and I consider you a good friend, and this is awesome. Yeah. Man. I'm so excited. So what we do on this podcast is we, just like you said, we bridge Web3 and the personal life, because I feel like a lot of times in Web3, we don't talk about our personal life. So we don't bridge that relationship that we can have. And so that's what I want to do here with Hyped. And so we go letter by letter, word by word. And so the first word is happiness. Incredible word to start off with. I like to start it off with reading my favorite definition of success, because it makes me super happy. And a lot of people actually haven't heard it. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. I'm going to read it to you. So it's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it says, to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. So how do you feel when I read that to you?
It's very poetic, like it sounds like something that was written by a wise person or a wise man or a wise woman. Happiness is everything in this life. And if you could do something that makes you happy, it ultimately won't be considered a job anymore. And that's what NFTs and crypto have done to me, is they've made me happy and made me want to strive to do more and more. And like when it becomes something that you're passionate about and you're obsessed with it, and you make it, your job, or you want to make it your job, you'll do whatever you can to do that. And if that makes you happy, you just keep going for it. And that's what this is all about, right? Is do something that you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about it, then you'll ultimately make it your job. And if you make it your job, you'll eventually get paid for it lucratively. So I think that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Dude. Absolute fucking knowledge. Listen, the first question, and I feel like I already know the answer, but what makes you happy every day?
Let's see.
Give me a few things. It's fine.
No, I mean, my son, obviously waking up every day and seeing him. Now
do
that
you
he's
get to
starting
see
to say,
him? Do you get to see him before work?
Yeah, usually he's awake whenever I get work, but just to see him be so excited in the morning. He's just turned 1, so he's starting to get all the motor skills and the words. So it's definitely awesome to see the progression. My wife, I'm excited just to have a job every day. I'm excited to host my space every day and just like turn on the space and just meet new people. Like I'm really excited. That's what really gets me going, is like every Tuesday when I start my spaces back up, I was like, who am I going to meet this week? Like, will this person in the future change my life? Will I change their life? Will someone change their lives and find someone within my space? Maybe they'll be their next project founder or their next artist. So it's like, I really look forward to hosting the spaces just to meet new people. And like, I think the great thing with spaces, like I would have never been able to meet you if there wasn't spaces. Like all these stuff, like people around the world I get to talk to every day is just like the technology that's brought to us, and we get to connect with so many people. And it's like, it's literally life-changing. Like this stuff is, I think we'll look back at it 10, 20 years from now and we'll just like laugh. I was like, I can't believe I was sitting on a space with you, or just the people who were around. I'm not going to name names, but like some of these people are going to be all stars in this space,
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like there's Web 2 all stars, and I think we're creating the Hall of Fame of Web 3. And then there's going to be all stars, and there's going to be legends, and like they're going to be there, and people are going to say, like I was there. Like I start taking screenshots of my spaces sometimes to say like, look at this room. Like I was sitting next to this person. Like it's going to be crazy to look back in 5 to 10 years and see all the people who were sitting next to talking to.
I 100% agree with that, dude. And it's like the way that I think about it is like when you started coming to my Friday night spaces with Iceman. Like, I just thought that was the coolest thing because I had looked up to you. I was like, dude, this is so sick. XPRESSO's here. And now, like, I'm hanging out with you. I do my best to be every day, if not, right? And just like that, be coming in and coming up on stage to speak with you and everybody up there. I met Chief, I met Ebron, you know what I mean? And then I met Ebron in New York, and then Ebron came on the pod. It's like none of that would have ever happened, right? And it's like so crazy. I was telling my mom had asked me who my guest was, and I was telling her like, no, like this is the guy that does a daily space that I go in, and he's how I met this NFL tight end, you know, and it's like who turned out to be such a good, genuine guy. And it's like so cool, like you said, like life-changing stuff that for me too, dude, in 5 years, like it's just gonna be like, damn, you remember when you were doing your daily alpha and we were like fucking chopping it up and it was just wild. And Michael won the Travis Scott's. Like I'm never gonna forget when Michael came into your space and was like, fucking just hit on the Travis Scott's. Like we were all just like fucking losing it.
Yeah, no, it's sick. Awesome. It's awesome, man. Like I love it. And I like I have such good friends now. Like, you know, you get a little bit older, you kind of lose the friends that you kind of like grow up with the same people in high school, and they kind of like everybody gets married and does the same thing. Well, like I'm a kind of far away from that. And now I have like a group of friends now in spaces that I consider like my really good friends. And I know these people kind of better than some of my good friends back in high school and some of my friends that were in my wedding. Like these people I know a lot better and like can know their lives, know their kids' names, know all their everyday, you know, their everyday ins and outs. Like it's turning into a nice, I'm just pleasantly surprised of how everything's turned out, you know, like I didn't think that, like the good thing about Web3 is everybody starts at the ground floor. And if you really put the effort in, you can become something in this space. Like it's not that saturated compared to Web2. Like it's a small pond and you could become a big fish in this small pond if you just give yourself to Web3 and just really absorb it and get know everybody in the space. Like, on a personal level, not NFT level, but like on a personal level, these people will help you out and like help you be a better person in the future. So it's not just NFTs, it's like a life-changing thing that the Web3 space does to you, man.
Yeah, I love it. You're absolutely preaching. Everything that I love about Web3 is what you just said. The next question is, what is the happiest moment of your life?
My son. Oh my God. My wedding and my son, like I looked back at it and I cried at both of them. And I was like, if you had ever told me that I was going to cry at my wedding and cry at my son's birthday, I would have told you you're crazy. But like when it happens, it's like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, this is like a movie. And then you get so caught up in it. But like, I cried when my wife walked down the aisle, which I was like, I'll never do that. Yeah. But like I did. And then when my son came out, it was just overwhelming. Like we were sitting there for 24 hours while she was pushing. And when he came out, it was just such a relief. I was so glad to see him after like 9 months and then plus 24 hours waiting for him. It was just like, thank God that he's here and we can get on with our lives. Like it was so overwhelming.
Yeah. Tell me about the love. Like, tell me about the love that you had for him when you saw him.
Oh man, he looks just like me. It's just like, I'm looking right into myself. It's like, wow, this is crazy. You know, I am 30. I just turned 36 like 2 weeks ago. And I did wait a while to have my first kid and get married. I wanted to get all that partying out. I wanted to get married one time. I wanted to wait to, you know, have a kid when I was ready. And now that this has all happened so late in my life that I'm way more grateful because there's some people that I know at my age that can't have kids or struggle to have kids because of certain child defects or birthing issues. Like I was just so grateful that me and my wife could do it, and it was like my son came out so healthy, so It was awesome.
That's awesome, man. That's so sick, dude. I love being a dad. It's the best thing in the world. I'm glad that you know, something that I admire is the fact that you said that you were being self-aware right there, like that you took the self-awareness and you were waiting until you were ready. You're waiting until you were ready to have a kid, to become a dad, to become a husband, because those are very important things in the real world. And so the fact that you did that, I admire that a lot, because you know, a lot of people don't have that self-awareness to realize like, hey, I need to wait and see until I'm actually ready, because it's a ginormous responsibility being a father and a husband, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think I grew up into the kind of the divorce era where all the kids are divorced. And I told myself like, that took like I told you at the beginning, like that was a really big effect on me and my sister when my parents got divorced at such a young age. And I was like, I'm going to find the right girl and I'm going to be married one time, and we're not getting divorced. Like, I'm going to work through it. And that's kind of where I'm at now. We're working through things. Not, every day's a new day. And, it's a work. Marriage is work. Being a father is work. Like, there's no book out there that teaches you to be a dad. So I'm learning as we go. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but so I think
Let's go. I love it. I love it, dude. So tell me some of your top communities that you're involved in Web3, the NFT space.
Top communities. So probably the communities I'm most involved with would be Alien Friends. Really bullish on them. Just the people behind the brand and the project are really genuine people. Come in my space, get to know them, know their, their kids, know their wives. Like, they're really personable people. And that's probably one. I would say Three Landers would be another one. That pretty good group of people. Community's pretty strong there. Not as nearly as active as I would be with the Alien Friends. Chimpers just bought one of those probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but that community is pretty dope. Seems like a lot of Bored Apes are in that project, since it's kind of is a derivative of Bored Apes. One of the very first ones, since Timpers is from Bored Apes, and he kind of made the Bored Ape Chronicles and made all that stuff based off Bored Apes. But there's a lot of Bored Apes in there. A lot of it's different kind of people that are in that project compared to Alien Friends. Like, a lot of people that are like have like 20 Bored Apes and 60 Corkies, and like it's a different kind of group to talk to. And then the Nifty portal, like going in there and hanging out with the community and stuff like that. I'm not nearly as active in there because I don't have a lot of time to type during the day, but like just hanging out with you and Iceman and some other guys within the community, like, I consider that another community I'm pretty involved with too. So
Yeah,
maybe
for
those four.
That's awesome. What about like Alien Friends is your number one? You said like the genuine type people. Like, I mean, you were pretty tight with the community.
Yeah, lots of the people that come in my spaces are Alien Friend holders. Sean, one of the co-founders of Alien Friends, I consider him a really good friend of mine. We talk all the time on the phone. Mason, I met down in NFT NYC. Hung out with him. Drove in the same Uber with him. Like, was really close to him. Like, that kind of stuff. Like, makes me more bullish, not on them as a community and as people, because I can see who's behind it and how much they really care and listen to the community to make it better. And like, no matter what happens to that community, if it goes to $1 or if it goes to $1 million, those people are going to be the same people listening to the community, trying to make sure that they do everything possible to make the project and IP what the community actually wants. So that's my number one, probably, is them, just because they gave me the opportunity to meet them and talk to them personally. It didn't blow me off to like, hey, yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. They always have time to listen to you and talk to you and support you. So that's what I like about them the most.
I like that a lot, man. The humility, even of these bigger projects, that's probably really cool. So you hung out with me. So Sean is a co-founder?
Yeah, Sean's a co-founder. So Mason and him grew up in the same neighborhood or whatever in Cincinnati, and Mason moved to LA, and then the whole thing popped off with Alien Friends, and Gary Vee, talked about him, and they went to Fort ETH, and Sean's like, yo, I got to set down everything I'm doing and go help them. And him and Mason are, good friends from growing up. And Sean's really aware with Web3. He has his own warehouse where he connects Web2 and Web3, and it's like a building, it's like a workshop, and they push out Web3 content and try to bring people within Web2 into Web3. And he just like, oh, I got to stop doing this. I'm going to go help Mason and build this community out. And Sean basically is in control of like listening to the community. So you always see him in spaces, listening to what the community wants. He's in Alien Friends radio. He's in MySpace. He's in a bunch of people's spaces that are Alien Friends, and just like, hey, I'm here. If you guys need to talk, let's do it. And he brings that feedback back to Mason and the founding team, and they tried to make whatever the community wants part of the project. So they got, I think the NFT marketplace is coming up pretty soon, where you can get whitelists for staking your friend and all kinds of stuff. So that's something that the community wanted, and they integrated it pretty quickly too. So it's all about awesome. Like, and Web3, when you buy an NFT project, no matter if it's a fine art project like a one of one or NFT from a group that built out the project, you always want that inside access to the people. Like I think that's kind of the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 is that when I buy your NFT, I get access to you. Like that's the benefit because I'm a investor or like I'm investing in part of your idea. So when you are so open and so easy to access and are so gracious with your time and willing to talk to the people, every single person in the community, that tells me a lot about the project. Like some people, when they host their NFT project or run their NFT project, they act like they're too busy or they don't have enough time. Like that's not what I want to hear. I want to hear like no matter if it's a 5-minute conversation or a 30-minute conversation, yeah, I respect your time, but I want to be heard and I want you to take a little time out of your day to listen to what I have to suggest or maybe have to say about the project. And that's Alien Friends do that. And that's why I have respect for them for sure.
I would double down on that. I agree with that all around, man. I think when you can connect with founders or just part of the team, like you feel better about the project. And just like say Mason came into the Discord 1 hour every other day, right? Like that means so much to people
Yep.
that a lot of projects they don't even realize that, but like man, it's just so cool. Like I know with Vayner Sports, like I know the entire team. AJ
Yep.
hangs out in the Discord. Like it's the coolest thing ever, right? Gary, you know what I mean? I went to VCon. Gary was signing people's sneakers literally on the ground. Like that's the type of humility that I want to see because
Yep.
he doesn't think he's fucking better than anybody out here. And I love that, man. I love that.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna have to buy an Alien Friend to be honest. I've
Yeah.
wanted to for a while, but I just like I didn't know. And now that I'm exposed to them through you, I mean, it just sounds incredible. I've known Sean obviously through your spaces. He's fucking the man.
Yes.
So I'm bullish on everything you're saying. So that's awesome.
Well, I
So
think Gary Vee is a perfect example. We were talking about like the biggest person in this space, and then there you could see. I got to scroll through Twitter where he's at card shows playing cards with kids. Like that's what I'm talking about. You're open. You're not too big for the space, and not too big for your britches. And those are the kind of people I like the most. Like some people are like, oh, I got 100,000 followers. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to go in your space. Like I like the people that aren't too big for the space and are always trying to help people out, no matter how big their follower count or how big they are in the space. Just be there for people. People are trying to learn. Like, don't stop being like Web 2 tawdy and like stop being like Web 2. Be more like Web 3. Be open. Try to help people. Like we want to onboard people. Well, onboard the people that are in here trying at least to start off, and then like I don't know. Like I like people that take their time out of the day to see how you're doing and get in a personal level with people, even if it doesn't about NFTs, it's about your life. Like I appreciate those people, and that's what Sean and Mason, all those people do for Alien Friends. That's why I'm probably the most bullish on them for community wise.
No, that's badass, man. I agree with that. I think like if someone comes to you with a question, like I just deploy first empathy and then I just think I'm honored. Like I feel humbled if someone comes to ask me a question. I'm like, yeah, like I'm going to do my best to help you with this answer, to help you with anything I can do, within my power. And so like I agree with you, man. Helping people is like one of the greatest honors I think in the world, and showing love. Like, I want everybody to win. And so like when you have that and you give that, like it's just you get it back 10x, you know what I mean? So I love that. So we're going to move straight into inspiration. I absolutely love inspiration. I always tell people one life. We got one fucking life. This is it. So we got to run with it. We got to get after it. And that's why hyped is so important, because the heartbeat, right? We don't know how many heartbeats we have. And so we're just going to get right into it. What is one lesson that you've had to learn the hard way in your life?
One lesson I had to learn the hard way. I would say the one lesson that I had to learn the hard way was that nothing's given to you for free. You have to work every day. You have to wake up. There's no shortcuts. I know a lot of people that can make a lot more money doing stuff that isn't the right way to do it. But like getting up every day, having a job, no matter how much you get paid, but getting up every day, putting your pants on and doing an honest living job is probably the one thing that I learned over time that you have to do. Like, I learned in the hard way that the shortcuts, the shortcuts, the easy ways out are usually the wrong avenues to go down. So the hard ways, getting up early, going to work every day and working a 9 to 5 it's a hard thing. It's an honest job. And I feel like that's probably the one lesson I had to learn was that there's a lot of easy ways to make money in this space, but there's a lot of consequences come with the easy things. And when you're supporting a family and you're supporting a child, that you have to do an honest day's work and not try to do any shortcuts. Because if you're gone, then your family suffers. And the main goal of my life is to be there for my family and my son, and not try to be the richest person in the world. Like, I'm not trying to go too quickly and try to make these shortcuts to get a lot of money. I'm trying to just work a steady 9 to 5 job and work hard every day. And hopefully that grind, people will realize that and want to help me, strive to get better and better jobs and better ways of making money other than doing the shortcut ways of, like I said, there's tons of examples of the shortcut ways of doing that. But like, yeah, just doing the hard jobs and the hard way, and doing it the hard way is always the right way. So that's kind of, I know it's a long-winded answer, but
No, I literally do. I loved it so much, man. It's literally how I feel. And kind of, why I gave you your flowers and just telling you inspire me, because you're doing it, right? You're doing it. You're fucking doing a space almost every day, right? 5 days of the week, and you're working a full-time job, and you have a kid, right? And you're married, like, and you're still being those things. And so it's like, I just want to inspire people. That's the whole thing with this podcast, man. I want to inspire people to show them like anybody can do anything, and we're fucking out here, and you put in that work and you're going to get in return. You're going to get stuff.
Yep.
If you give good shit and you put good energy and you be kind and you give things to people, like, you'll get it back 10x. And so, yeah, man, you're crushing it. I love it. So do you have someone in your life that's like an inspirational leader or somebody that you've looked up to your life?
So well, I'd say my mom probably is. Since my dad and my mom got divorced at an early age, I really didn't have a father figure in my life. My stepdad was there, but he wasn't like the man of, like, that would try to teach you to be a man. He was there to support you if you're down, but he wasn't there to teach me to how to be a man. But my mom was always there to push me forward and tell me, like, you're doing a great job. But like, for someone to teach me how to be a man was probably my football coach in high school. And he was my 6th grade gym coach, and he moved up every grade with me just to be there for me. And his name was Coach Smith. And he was probably one of my biggest role models. Invited him to my wedding, like everything. Like, he was somebody that I looked up to teach me how to be a man. And like, and I have his voice in my head every day when I'm working. Like, if you're not going to put your kid in military, at least put him in football, because it is so similar. Like, get up, get going, stop whining, and do what you got to do and get it over with. And that's what I do every day. Like, I don't want to go to work, but got to go do it. Got to put your shoes on, get up, go do it. And like, when I want to give up, I always hear him in my brain saying, "You don't give up. You don't quitter. You're not a quitter." So yeah, like, I guess my football coach, Coach Smith, would probably be the person that I was my biggest role model in my life, other than my mom. My mom's always someone that was very sweet, very nice, a saint, pretty much, like someone I would, want everybody to meet. She's just one of the kindest people in the world. And I get that. I get my kindness and my graciousness from her. Like, she's someone that I strive to be like, just like her. Like, hope I can not be like a mom, but like a dad, where it's just as caring as she is.
That's badass, man. I love it. I love that your mom was your rock. I love that you had that coach, man. Do you talk to him a lot?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
He tries to, we do like alumni meetings and stuff. I come back to, and talk to the team, the football team, and like, just stuff like that. He always keeps me involved with the football team and wants me to come back and talk to the team and stuff. So yeah, we're still, very connected in life. Hopefully I can get him NFTs one day.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be cool. So yeah, I mean, that's so badass, man. You playing college, baseball for a little bit, that it's fucking like another animal when you get to the college level.
Oh, my God.
It's like, it's a full-time job. I mean, I played college football for 2 years, and it was like, Yeah, you're up at fucking 4 a.m. You're going to bed at 10 p.m. and you're working out 4 times a day and you're fucking eat, sleep, shitting that. So I love that you've been through that. I love that your coach has inspired you, man. That makes me so happy. What do you love about Web3 that inspires you to want to do it every day?
The fact that it's similar to my job is that the harder the more you're consistent and grind, the more it gives back. So like the more you give to this space, the more the rewards are even better every time you come back. So like the more, like, I have a space where I do it during my job, but then I get off work and I research and I bring more value to the space, and then I go support other hosts of other space and go in their space and give value to their space, and then those people want to connect with you even more and then give you information and give you alpha. So it's just like it's constantly like a flywheel of like value you get. Like the more and more you give, the more and more people want to be around you, and then the more and more people want to be around you, the more and more information they want to give you, and the more information you get, the more money you make. So it's just like it's really nice. Like that's why I do it. It's like because I love just turning on the space in the morning and meeting new people, and then those people become my friends, and those friends become my network, and then that network just brings me value and brings me good calls, man. So that's what I love about it. Is just the harder you work, the better, the more you get out of it, and that's what it's about for real, man.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. That inspires me even more just hearing you say it. The last question here is, what's your favorite inspirational movie?
Inspirational movie. Is it Rudy? Has to be Rudy, bro.
Let's
It doesn't.
go. Didn't even think.
Isn't
I
it?
love it.
Isn't it?
We've had a
Though?
lot of different answers. We've had, the first couple episodes, Remember the Titans. It's my favorite inspirational movie. We had Hook was a very popular one. A few people said that. We had, that was interesting, but it was good like description when they described it. I was like, holy fuck, that's inspirational. We had fucking Pursuit of Happiness. That was very popular. Multiple people said that. One person said Wolf of Wall Street. That was cool. I was like, yeah, let's go.
I like that one.
I love Rudy. I love Rudy, man. It is. It's inspiration. Like, you gotta
try, keep going, keep
like,
going, and keep banging your head against that wall, and eventually that wall will crack, and you'll run right through it, and people will like respect you because you banged your head against that wall so many times and you broke through.
Dude, I love it. Like nobody, like the thing that I tell people is when I'm telling people to get in this space and do it, and just 50% of it's showing up, is like, no one can take away from you that you do it every 5 days a week, right? And you've done it for I don't know how many weeks, but I'm sure a roundabout, right? Nobody can take away that I've done 160 gratitude videos or whatever. Like no one is going to take that away from me. It's fucking written. It's everywhere. And so it's like when you do that work, like you get that recognition, like you're saying, like you just keep going, and it's gonna keep getting bigger, and one day you're gonna have a fucking 1,000 people in your daily alpha, and it's gonna be wild, dude. Like I can't even wait to just see you fucking crushing from the mountaintop. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be so sick to watch because you're already building.
Yeah, for sure. And I talk to a lot of people that are like interested in to come into the Web3 space. Like, dude, I just want to make some money. I'm like, bro, like that's not the channel you need to go down. You just need to come in here and try to learn the space. And like they were like, well, I want to do funny stuff. I want to make funny content for Web3. I'm like, you have to like know what Web3 is and know the nuances to like make jokes about it. You just can't come in here thinking you're gonna make jokes. We're gonna see right through you. Web3 can see right through anybody. So people can see fake in this industry. So for people that come in this space, you have to put in the time. Like there's no easy way about it. Like you have to put in the time and get to know the nuances of the space for you to become successful. Even if it comes down to just being a trader, a content creator, a comedian, someone, that makes funny content, or a shit poster, meme poster, you just can't do it just like stumbling into the space and think you're gonna be successful. You have to put in the time. And then once you put in the time, like I said, it will benefit you and it will reward you handsomely. So I always say, just don't give up. Like the last thing, like I know it's easy to give up in this space right now when we're down, but like it's less crowded. There's less noise. This is the time where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Like literally, like there's not a lot of people competing for what you're trying to do right now. Everybody left and they'll be back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just keep going. Keep going every day. If that's one thing, I think you're speaking magnitude to is just keep going, keep working, don't stop. Fucking love it, dude.
Rudy,
Yeah,
Rudy, Rudy.
I'm gonna fucking clip that. It's gonna be incredible. Listen, we're moving into positivity. Listen, positivity is my mission, right? Make positivity louder. I say that all the time. I try to say it every day. I'm out here on a fucking mission, man. Negativity is so loud, it's not even funny, and I am on a mission to make positivity louder. And it's just a mindset. It's a mindset of perspective, of being positive every day. So I asked this to everybody, and everybody struggled with negativity. I'm sure you have. When you get hit with negativity, like how do you stiff arm it? What are some things you do to turn to positivity?
You know what's like, it's crazy is like negativity does get to me a little bit more than most things. When I do watch your videos, dude, it's like your positivity. I was like, dude, I wish I could be more like that. Like it is something that I really do struggle with the negativity, man. It like sometimes I just want to be everybody to like me or everybody to know that I'm trying, but like in this space and in life, not everybody's gonna like you, and everybody has an opinion, and some opinions aren't going to be the greatest things for your motivation. And so that's one thing that I wish I could possibly do better is to brush off the negativity and know how to do it. I don't think I have ever been kind of like taught the tools or the mindset to push away negativity. Most of the times what I try to do is just ignore it and try to push through it. But majority of the time it always affects my mojo in some way if there's some negative aspect in me, and that's it. People can see it in my morale, people can hear it in my speak whenever something negative is going on in my life. I really can't fake the fact that I'm hurting inside sometimes with negativity. And so sometimes I just try to, the one thing that I do try to do is try to ignore it and just try to find something that I'm passionate about and just forget about it. But like after that's over with and you get by that I always like harness like what can I do that keep that person, keep that negativity away from me, or like how can I change that person's thought process to make them think that I'm not that person or something like that. So yeah, that's one thing I do need to work on is try to figure out ways to fend off that negativity. But the one way that I have done it is basically just try to do something I really like and forget about it. But I still don't do that very well either. So
So dude, it's not, first of all, thank you for being vulnerable. I admire that. A lot of people aren't. And it's a big, huge step to be transparent with yourself, right? Like that, if I could give anybody the alphas to be transparent with yourself, be who you are, right? And no one's going to look down on you because you just admitted that you had a hard time with negativity. Everybody has a hard time with negativity.
Right.
Listen, I fucking hate my job. I'm not going to not tell people that. I don't like my regular job, but I had to double down on positivity even more because I love my family. I love my life. Like I'm grateful for my wife, right? So what I've done is I've turned so hard into gratitude. When I found Gary Vee, the first video that I saw was he has a video that says that the chances of being born are 400 trillion to 1. And so for me, that was like my unlock. I was like, holy shit. I just like can't even get upset. Like, yeah, of course there's things that happen to you and fucked up shit happens every day. But you just like are like, holy shit. Like you said at the very beginning of this episode, you said I woke up. You know what I mean? Like we've won already when we woke up. And absolutely in the micro things can get to you. But if my job, I drive a big truck, like a Snap-on truck, right? So I'm on a truck kind of like you. I have photos of everything I love, dude. My wife, my kids, and the places I love to visit, because it's like if I just look up at that, I've trained myself now just be like, okay, cool. I brush it off. I'm better than this. I'm better than this negativity. If it's a customer, if it's a person being rude to me, it's just like I brush that off and what am I grateful for? And that has turned me back to positivity. And, you have to work on it for sure. Like it doesn't just happen. You really have to work on it. So if I could give anybody that advice, and I tell people, like, you tell yourself it's not that bad. It sounds funny, man. And I'm in sales, so I sell very expensive stuff. And when I tell people it's not that bad, like it could be worse, it almost sells that thing for me. I don't have to do anything because it really could. I was listening to Gary the other day, obviously I'm a Gary Maxey, but he said there's 850 million people in the world without clean water. So it's like, dude, I just think of things like that. Like that brings me back to like, holy shit.
Yep.
fuck whatever happened. You know what I mean? You got a healthy son. Like, boom, dude. It's like you're right back. And once you work on those things and you get whatever rhythm you get, right? Because different per person, you'll develop that and you'll just fucking skyrocket. It'll be crazy.
I love it, man. I'm gonna have to use those as next time something negative happens in my life. But yeah, I like the now that I have a son, like it's a lot. I do notice that it's a lot easier for me to use that as a reference of reason why I am grateful now. Like I know it's only been a year, but I have noticed a difference in the fact that negativity doesn't affect me as much, is because I do have my son to like be grateful for and say, like, who cares what that person thinks for real? Like I have my son, he doesn't give a damn what that person thinks. Like that's a great thing about having a kid. Like you can come home and it doesn't matter what happened during your day. They're just super excited to see you. And that kind of brush away any negativity that came to you that day. So yeah,
Yes.
for real.
No, I love it, dude. And think about this one thing, dude. At the beginning, when I read the definition of success, it was if you make one person breathe easier, man. Like I can say that you've made me breathe easier because of your show. Like I've gotten so much knowledge, so friends, like that has helped me breathe easier. So like think about that stuff, man. You're
Yeah, for
doing
sure.
great things like that inspire great people, right? Like you've inspired Ebron for sure, man. And he's incredible, right? These people that are incredible, Sean, like you've inspired them. So like those are things that like, oh shit, like I am great. And you're right. You can't please everybody. So just fucking remember you're fucking awesome and I fucking love you.
Yeah, love it, bro. Love it. Yeah, Web3 has actually made me a lot happier than I've ever been too. So it's easy to like lean on this space when there's something negative is going on, and just like come talk to you, talk to somebody in the space, and like you can forget your problems real quickly if you leverage this Web3 space and the community you built. If you are having a hard time, so I love this, man. Like Web3 is definitely, like I said, changed my life, and it's got a lot of negativity out of my life, but there is still a little bit there. But yeah, majority of Web3 like erases all that shit for real for me.
Let's go, dude. What do you think are some of the biggest positive benefits of Web3? Maybe in the world, like with the world or something, like what in the future?
I would say the Web3 is about blockchain technology. So that means everything's be verified on a blockchain. So I think the benefits would be people that don't have the technology in third world countries to have an identity and don't have to worry about other circumstances taking away their lives. So like a lot of people in these third world countries, their birth certificates, their other stuff gets burned, or they move from one village to the other and they don't have their passports and stuff like that because they're refugees, or there's problems, conflicts going on in their government. But if their identities are on a blockchain, then they have an identity and they don't have to worry so much about having all their goods and like running out if they're scared. Like their identity is stored on the blockchain and they can always go to that. It's like, this is me. So like I think that benefit in the future, like everybody's has an identity and no one is a lost person. I think that the NFT technology and blockchain technology is going to change that forever in the future. I think that's the number one goal, I think, is to have everybody on the blockchain and everybody's identity is immutable. Like it can never be changed and it can't be taken away from you. You're not a forgotten person. Like a lot of these people in third world countries, their birth certificates get burned, their houses get burned, they move to another village, then no one knows who they are ever again. Like their past, their friends are gone. Like no one knows who these people are. Just the fact that you can tell that person, like, I know who you are. It's okay. Like, I think that's going to be beneficial to the world in the future. And like, these people are going to really appreciate that.
No, I love it, man.
You know
I
what I
love it. And I think that like a lot of the things that I like about blockchain technology is like you can track it. Everything's on the blockchain.
Yep.
So it eliminates a lot of the bullshit in the real world and eliminates a lot of the lying. Because there's a ton of fucking bullshit in the world. So that's why I love, and I agree with you 100%, man. It's inspiring that we're here and that's the future, that blockchain technology will help those people. Like that's so incredible to even fathom. That is like just so bullish. All right. So after positivity, I started doing this mini segment. I'm a big believer in faith, but I'm also a big manifester. I'm also a big talking about my big goals to people and manifesting those things out and believing in that. Is this something that, are you big in faith? Do you manifest? Do you believe in your dream? Like, do you dream big?
Oh yeah. I'm always been a person to write down things that I want and that I want to strive to complete or have a goal. And it seems like I'll write something down, say like a year ago, and I'll look back at it and forgot about it and go back into the journal and see that I accomplished that goal. So like I'm a really big person on writing down your goals and writing down what you want to succeed in this life. And usually when you write it down, for subliminally, you'll try to complete it, an accomplishment. And so I've been really good at writing things down and like using that as a way to complete certain aspects and goals in my life. So writing stuff down.
Do you believe like a lot of things I've been telling people is like I believe that the universe has your back. So right, like when you do good shit, good shit's gonna happen back, and it's gonna come back even more if you're genuine about it. So you believe in that, like you practice that.
Yeah, definitely. I see that all the time in the spaces. The more you give, the more you get back. And I think that's the world doing it for you, like, and the faith. Yeah. I wasn't a big person in church and whatever that and like religion, but I definitely believe of, a creator, and we're all here for a reason and all that stuff. Like I'm not that like into that much into religion, but I am like into the creator and like there's a higher being and all that stuff, and manifest, the more you manifest good, the more you'll get back. So I'm all into that for sure.
Yes, absolutely, man. And I believe like when you manifest and you put it out there and you tell people, like then you'll go tell someone, then they'll go tell someone, then it's like all this energy that's flowing for you in your life, like is fucking powerful.
Yes, very powerful.
I like to throw this quote in right now. I think it's a perfect time before we move into enthusiasm. So if you want something you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. I think that's perfect for exactly what we've been talking about this entire time. We're getting out of our comfort zones every day that we're in the space. You're doing a live show every day. It's incredible. So I love it. So we're moving into enthusiasm. This is my shit. I'm pumped every day, right? You know me. I'm a tornado. We ride. I think enthusiasm is important, right? Because what I said before, like one life, we have one life. So my question to people is, why wouldn't you be excited? Why wouldn't you be fucking pumped up about your life? Like this is your opportunity to get out there and do something about it. So that's why I'm excited. This is one of my favorite questions to ask on the show. What are three things? What are three things in your life right now that you can't get enough of?
NFTs, spaces, and my family. Bam.
Let's go. There. Killed it, dude. Fire. What's your this is a follow-up question. I didn't have this planned. What's your number one NFT you have? Favorite.
My number one favorite NFT.
Shit, you're not even like, you won't even think about selling. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, I do have one of those. It's my Naughty Dots that I just recently got. I got gifted it for my birthday. And I probably will never sell that just because I love the art of it, and it's a relatively new artist, but I think that it's probably gonna have big things into it. But it was a gift. So like those gifts that people give you, like you just can't get away with it. And yeah, I think I don't know if I should sell who gave it, but Ebron gifted me it for my birthday. So like he's always giving back, bro. Like Ebron's a giver, bro. So like he's like, oh, it's your birthday, bro. Here, have this Naughty Dots. And Naughty Dots were, I didn't have one, but the day he gave it to me, I won the raffle. So it's like there's the world just like here. I got 2 in one day. I was like, I wouldn't even known. That's like dude,
that's literally it. That's wild that we just talked about that and then that happened in the conversation. Like that's what I believe in, man. I believe in just what you said, man. The good shit happens, and Ebron gives back, and then you win. It's like, what the fuck, I can't 2. Explain it.
Yeah, now I have one from him, and I was like, I can never get rid of this. And like, I really think that it's a smaller collection of like 369. It's a Genesis piece, and like, Zin, the founder of Naughty Dots, like, he's a really great artist, really creative, and I think that just having these pieces as a Genesis collective is going to be very valuable in the future after we see him create out of like a bigger supply and a generative collection and all that. So I think that's something. Those
little PFPs that you and Ebron and Mikey, I think Mike wears, and those are sick. That's sick art.
Yeah, he's really freaking good. Like he does these raffles where he creates one, and then you have to have notifications on your Twitter, and it's like 69 seconds, and you have to like and retweet it. And then he does a Twitter giveaway, and then a Twitter picker. And if you're one of the people that liked and retweeted and they get picked on the giveaway, you win. And there's like, he's only making 369 of the Genesis collection. I think he has 100 left. So there's like, I think they're at 1 ETH right now. So once people stop thinking that they can get it for the raffle and win them for point one, like people start sweeping the floor. And that's why I think like these are going to be
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
for sure. I mean, 369 collection is fucking bullish, especially with someone doing something creative like that. Like that's sick, man. I love that. Just getting the community involved and
Yeah.
being aware of what's going on. That's sick, dude. You have to send me his profile. I want to check it out for sure. Because the only time I've ever seen is when you guys put it as your PFP, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this is sick. This art."
Yeah.
But
It's
that's
relatively
dope.
blown up. It's blown up in the past month and a half or so. And it's like, a lot of the Alien Friends community is like really supporting him. So you have that whole community on trying to get on the raffle. Plus, you have a lot of people that are just like, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool," and getting involved too. So it's become like a FOMO event. Every time that notification goes off, it's just like everybody races to it and tries to get that Naughty Das. So yeah, that Naughty Das that Yibran gifted me is probably one that I would probably never give away, and very valuable to me.
That's awesome, dude. That's so cool. That's like, this is so sick to hear. I love it. What has been the biggest accomplishment of your life?
Oh man, that's a good one. The biggest accomplishment of my life, I would say, probably being at one job for 14 years straight, and I think that's I don't know a lot of people that have been at one job for 14 years.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good accomplishment, especially starting so young at 23, 24, and going through the ups and downs and COVID and economies and all that stuff, and just sticking to it and just being at
Yeah.
and doing it every day and really not taking any days off and just doing it and grinding. Like I'm pretty satisfied that the fact that I can put that on my resume that I have been at one company for 14 years. But yeah, that's kind of something that I feel
That's
pretty.
great, man.
I feel pretty like I don't know. I feel good about it when I tell people that like, wow, you were there for 14. You've been there for 14 years.
And
That's
you're only
great.
36. So
Yeah.
that's also powerful, right? Like it's also powerful for me hearing you that you talked or that you worked for UPS before that. That's powerful for me seeing that that's even longer work ethic, right? And so like, say you were running a project and you told me that, like those are the things that I'm catching, because I've had to work that crazy, already years in my life, and I'm only 28. And so like hearing someone that, it's like you don't teach that. You can't just like you don't learn work ethic, right? It's like
Yep.
something you either have or you don't fucking have. And so
Yeah.
when you hear that, it's like, oh, boom, like I'm in. You know what I mean? Like instantly. And it might be that Italian blood in you. I don't know,
It
but
is.
Italians know how to work, so I love it. What's
Let's
your
just hope. Let's just
sorry?
hope that the next 14 years I'm like not working there. Let's hope that in like
Oh no.
5 to 10 years that I'm working full time Web3. That's the goal. I've wrote this down in my journal. So
Dude, read it every day. Talk
yep.
about it, dude. If there's anything you can take out of this besides the positivity thing we talked about, dude, it's read that goal and fucking talk about it. I want to hear you talk about it and say fucking next year I'm gonna be in Web3, dude. Because I literally believe in my soul that you're gonna be full time in Web3. We're just waiting for time to catch up, bro. I'm just
Yep.
like I'm literally already thinking it. So I'm just
I've already
riding.
thought it.
Yeah, dude. Let's go. I love it. What's your most exciting moment in Web3 or the NFT space?
Oh shoot. So pretty exciting, huh? So probably getting that very first it's back when long so it was back in September. It was Beanie Maxi came into the space. I don't know, you know who
Oh,
Beanie is.
yeah.
And he had the Blute airdrop. The Blute, it was a stealth mint, and he basically just dropped the token hash on his Twitter, and it was first come first serve, and it was all free. And so I just like put notifications on from some video that I saw. I was like, hey, these are the people you need to follow, and I followed him, and I saw this on like a Friday, and it's like, what the heck is this? So I clicked on my MetaMask and it was free, and I clicked on it and I minted it. I'm like, all right, this is weird. And then people like Cole Ethereum and a bunch of people started talking about, because it's Blute was a derivative of loot back in the day. So it was like just a picture of words. And this thing popped off over the weekend for free. It went all the way to 2 ETH. Plus they had an airdrop of a coin called B Gold that was $14,000. So I sold that thing at 1.5, and I sold the B Gold for 10K. So that was like when the $18,000. That was
Let's go.
from a free mint. Like that was stealth. Like, and I was like, wow, like this is pretty fucking exciting. So
Oh
that was
my God.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
literally fucking so excited that that happened to you.
yeah, that was pretty exciting because that was relatively like a month or two into like I was less than like 2 or 3 weeks into the NFT space at that time. So to get like pretty much airdropped $18,000 was pretty beneficial to me
Wow.
in this space.
That's
Yeah,
yeah, dude, that's fucking wild. What month was that? What do you
September.
remember?
It was like
Jesus.
September. Yeah, that's like the first week of September. It was like Memorial. Like yeah, it was crazy, bro. But like Beanie has a reputation now of like no one. He's like off Twitter
I
altogether.
know,
But
man. I know. I had
but
a
it was
bunch of his 420 game shit, and I just got fucking wrecked on that.
it was him. It was him, Hunter Orwell, and Tropo Farmer were the people that are the ones that released that Blue NFT, and like it went crazy over the weekend. Like I put my phone down, and it was like it's at 1 ETH, sell it, and then it went up to 1.5 ETH, and I was like, oh my god, this is going so crazy. But it got all the way up to 2 ETH, and like they even had an airdrop of a coin that they added liquidity to, but at least eventually that coin got rugged. Someone
Oh
sold all of it, so I sold it right before it got rugged for like 10K. But it was like at top peak, it was like 14K in my MetaMask wallet just for a fucking airdrop coin that they created.
Oh, that's fucking incredible, bro.
That's the difference between now and back in the very beginning is that you could stumble into like projects like I saw doodles for the longest time for under 1 ETH, and you could literally just pick that up and like you would be so like now it's so much harder just like to stumble into blue chips like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think like even now, like yeah, like Goblin Town, I think we talked about it a lot on your show last week. And it's like fuck, man, it's still a hard bet to make at 2 to 3 ETH to think like, can this run again to 10 plus ETH? Like I actually met the owner in at the VSP event in New York, and it's like I believe in what he's doing, but it's like fuck, I don't know. It's like it's more risky now, I think, than like buying a doodles at 0.7. Like it'll probably go to at least an ETH. It's kind of like Corky's.
Yeah.
Like I bought a bunch of Corky's because I was like, this art is fucking wild, and that was a big win for me, but. It's like, yeah, you don't know. Like now it's like 0.1 win. You're like fucking, you're just like, yes, dude. And you get fucking 0.1 win in what's going on right now. And it's like, just, that's wild to hear you tell that story, dude.
I think potatoes have a good opportunity to pull a Goblin
Yeah.
Town, in my opinion. Just the
Yeah.
people backing it and just they know what they're doing. 9gag is a big company. Plus, they got Gary Vee, Kevin Rose, and a bunch of advisors on that board. I just think that could possibly have a nice rip after reveal too. I think there's more coming. I think you might even get whitelist to meme land if you have a few staked or whatever. But like
They're
that
like
was at
growing, right? They're growing. The potatoes
yeah,
are
yeah.
growing. It's fucking
They were
hilarious.
they were like 0.5, and then they went to 0.7. Then they had some news event on like Sunday or Saturday, and it just ripped to 1.3. So it's just like it's continuously just ripping to crazy levels, and I just see it possibly doing that. Just I don't know. Just seems like the Gary V's behind it. It has the opportunity to rip. To 3 or 4 ETH.
I was talking to one of my really close friends today in one of my spaces I was in, and I just told him, I was like, listen, dude, I was like, the reason I bet on Gary is one, because I followed him for so long. I know what he can do, but he is the one person probably besides Kevin Rose in the space. I don't even know if Kevin Rose can do this, but they can pump a project with just buying one by like an ETH in like 15 minutes. And I told my friend the most scary thing in the best way is that he's aware of that. So he knows that he can fucking pump a project. He's not like delusional. And so it's like, yeah, like hearing you say that when he's behind this company and Kevin Rose too, like their advisors is like, whoa, like you're right. Like we had talked about it last week on your show. It was probably 0.6, 0.7. Then on Friday night, me and Ice were talking about it. It was like 0.8. I was like, yeah, this is still a buy. And then it was fucking 1.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like, fuck. We called it. We just didn't buy it. But yeah, no, that's cool. All right. So the last thing is dreams. Absolutely love dreams. I like to say I'm a delusional optimist and just dream fucking crazy big. So I'm going to read to you the dream that I have for my life. And then I want you to tell me the dream that you have for your life.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Put me on the spot, bro.
But you kind of actually said it earlier.
I know.
So I'm going to see if you, yeah. So listen, I'm Gentle Tornado. I'm an honest, enthusiastic, and successful man that will inspire people to live their life through happiness.
And then you want me to tell you my dream?
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yours is always, the fucking guest is always good.
So yeah, I think I've already said kind of what I want to kind of do. So my dream is to do this full-time Web3 and host alpha spaces and spaces on Twitter that have big influential people in there to give value to people and onboard the next generation of people in the Web3 and show them the tools and show them that there is someone here that is trying to make them successful. And my dream is to have some of the best spaces, the biggest spaces. I don't know if I ever want to release my own project, but if time comes, I would like to have my project one day, if it's an alpha pass or something like that, be something that people want and someone would bring value to, and that I could do this space, Web3 full time and just help onboard the next generation of people. And like people look back at me, when I'm old and say like that guy really helped me out and really taught me the way. Because when I got into space in August, there was people hoarding the information, didn't want to give it to newcomers because they knew that they could take advantage of you. And I'm the kind of person that I can't keep a secret. And I just want to tell everybody that comes into space, these are the tools you need. These are the applications you need. These are the people you need to be following. These spaces are the best way to communicate. You don't need to be following influencers. Come into these spaces, listen to the communities, listen to what people are talking about, and you're going to get a better idea than going on YouTube and listening to like these YouTube influencers. Like, I want to be that person people look up to in the future and say, hey, you really helped me onboard me and like really help me like get my first step into this Web3 world. But yeah, that's kind of my dream, is to be someone that people look back on and say, you really helped me out, like get like onboarding me and like teaching me everything, the ropes in this space. So
I love it. Now tell me your real life dream, like your in real life dream, because you said that earlier.
my
Not your job dream. Tell me what about your real life. You had said earlier you want to be the best dad and best husband.
Yeah, that is a great dream. Like I do want to be the best dad and the best husband I possibly be. That is a great that is obviously the number one priority of my life, is to be a good father and a good dad. And I really want my son to do what he loves, but I would love for him to be into this Web3 space and him to like be there with me and like do this with him. Like I would love to like him host his own space or him start his own NFT project or be a Solidity dev, or just I would love for my son and my wife to be onboarded into the space with me and we can all enjoy the Web3 space together. Like that would be awesome. Like that would be awesome if my wife and my son would be in Web3, not just like, oh yeah, I heard you. Yeah, you're good. Your space is NFTs. Like have my wife have an NFT like for her business, or my son making NFT contracts, or a Solidity dev. Like that would be awesome if I could like inspire them to be part of this space too, because I think it's inevitable. Everybody's gonna be a part of Web3 in the future.
That's badass, dude. I love it. I love it. If you could tell your 13-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
My 13-year-old self, one thing, that money comes, money goes. It doesn't matter how much money you have, it won't make you happy. That's what I would tell him, because I think I was really obsessed with, when I was 13, to be rich and a millionaire, and like I was told by society that's the only way you'd be happy. But what I've learned over time is that money will not make you happy. You have to really love what you do and love the people you're around, and that's true wealth. You know what I'm saying?
I love
Like,
it, dude. Absolute fucking wisdom.
when you're on your deathbed and you're about to pass over, no amount of money is going to matter. It's the people on your bedside that are going to matter. That's true wealth, is that, you know what I mean?
Well, you just set me up perfect for what I always do at this part of the show. And you're absolutely right, bro. You cannot take any amount of money with you when you go. And I'm going to read to you my favorite poem that is perfect, literally, for exactly what you said. It's called The Dash by Linda Ellis. And it reads, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates of her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
Love it. Love that, man.
Let's go, dude. It's literally perfect for what you were just talking about. I mean, how do you feel? Have you ever heard that?
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
That was nice, man. I need to do. Where do you get this stuff from, man? I need to do some more reading, some poems and shit.
I got you, dude. Just let me know. You hit me up and I will send it to you, man. I've been through a ton of I've been so grateful to be through a ton of leadership training with a very intimate company and my dad blessed me with. And so I got a lot of tools that I've been gifted. And so, you know, you can use those tools that you were gifted with, or you don't have to. And so I've harnessed those, and that poem and the success definition I read were things that I learned from that course. And you know, it changed my life, and I live that way every day, man. The dash is like so important to me. I just want to be a good person between those years, and that's what matters, man. It's not the money that you have when you're dead, because nobody gives a fuck. So I love it. I love it. I love that I can inspire you. Please hit me up if you want any fucking info. I love that. So the way that we
Dope.
end the show is, I like to talk about this really quick, is me and my wife lately have been super focused on living in the now. So we're planning on moving to Utah. And that's probably going to take a couple years because of what's going on in our country with the recession, and who knows what the
Hmm.
fuck's, it's unstable. So instead of looking forward, we're focused on living for right now. That's doing anything right now, that we are super focused on spending more time with family, doing whatever, right? When I say that to you, what does it mean? And are you someone that does live in the now? Or are you someone that works on that? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I definitely. That's the only way that I can live is in the now. I try to only control what I can control. I know I always I always harken back to my job, but I that's the only kind of that's my in and outs of what I learned from every day is my job. Like I can't control how people respond to me. I can't control how many packages are on my truck. All I can do is to give my hardest effort and just deliver one package at a time and just stay in the moment. And then now, instead of that, I'm also hosting a space on top of doing that. So like it really keeps me in the moment of like listening to people, how they talk to me, and do my job while I'm listening to people. It's a bit tricky, but that's the only way I can live is in the now. Like really just listen to everybody, enjoy everybody, take everybody's words to heart. Everybody has an opinion. You can disagree with their opinions, but just like listen to people, live in the now, control what you can control. And that's how I live. And that's how I've always lived for real though.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. Are you so? Or let me ask you this: are you focused when you're with your son, and you're spending that time with your son? Do you put your devices away? Are you fully with him, or is that something you have to work on? Because that was
Yeah.
something I had to work on, and now I just put my phone away. I'm just like, I got to put this shit away. So I'm fully, I have 3 boys, but now I'm fully invested in that because I just don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, I do have issues with putting my phone down. It's definitely something I definitely have been trying to work on. And something he's 1, but like when he turns 3, he's not going to care. Like it's a little easier now because he's just running around banging his head on things. Like when they turn 3 and they start talking to you and they see you on your phone, they're definitely going to be like, what are you looking at? And now
Yeah.
I'm definitely working on the whole trying to put the phone down. And I think I try to go too hard in this space sometimes. And I think there has to be a balance. You
Yeah.
can only give so much. And like I've been greedy sometimes of giving way too much to the space and neglecting my son and my family, but I'm definitely scaling back that's why I only go Tuesday through Saturday, and I usually Sunday and Monday you won't see me on spaces or on Twitter because I'm spending the majority of that time hanging out with the family and doing chores around the house and helping the wife out take care of the family and all that stuff. But yeah, bro, I definitely had an issue with that just because I want to push so hard in this space, but you have to have a nice balance in the space. I need the support of my wife. I need the support of my son. So if I neglect them, then I'm going to have issues and I'm not going to be able to give my hardest into Web3 because that's going to distract me from doing my job. You know what I'm saying? So everybody happy, everybody, everybody, everybody's problems tended to, like, that kind of stuff is very important to a family. And I definitely am working on putting the devices down. Like, if you have any hints or strategies of doing that, please let me know, because this space moves so quick.
Yeah, it's I think it's hard for sure. I'll say that, because you never want to miss anything, but I would say that missing, and my oldest son's almost 4. Fuck, did we hang out all the? I mean, we played monster trucks for like 2 hours today. It was incredible, dude. I wasn't on my phone at all, and I just, like, no amount of money is worth missing, like, that time with him. Is missing him telling me something that is meaningful to him. And even my middle son, right? He's 2. He does a lot of shit, but it's like he knows. You know what I mean? Like, they're
Right.
so smart, and so it's like, like you said, dude, there's a balance. And it's kind of funny because my V-Friend 1 that I bought is a balanced beetle, because something in my life I've always worked on is balance. I'm like you, dude. I'm 110% on everything I do. But you have to find balance, right? You have to find the balance, and it's different for everybody. And so that's why I just fucking get rid of my phone. It's not even around me. I cannot have it around, because then you just peak, and it's just not worth
Yep.
the upside. You know what I mean? Like, if you, and it's, what I would say for you is, like, you're building a brand, you're building this, you're doing the work. And so it's like, you don't need this fucking, even if it's a 10th flip, right? Like, dude, that time with your son is something that some people don't have. And it's like, that's worth more than any amount of money, right? Like, unless you're living off this money from NFTs, which I know you're not. So it's like,
Right.
dude, it's not worth it. That's what I've, like, tricked myself, right? I used to get worried about missing something, but I said, fuck that, dude. I don't need this money to live. So, but I do need my kids. Like, they're my fucking oxygen. So that was for me, my unlock. And I think my wife told me it's been showing, like, I haven't been on my phone a lot. And so that means I'm doing something right, but you have to work on it, but
Yep.
you'll get it. You'll get there. And the fact that you know about it is the first step, right? It's the first step to moving forward.
Yeah.
And you'll
I've
fucking
always
get
been,
there.
I think the thing is that I've always been someone that's like a news hound, no matter if I was in Web3, if I was into sports, if it's politics. Like, I'm always someone from the very beginning the internet started. I was always trying to find what the news, the breaking news was.
Yeah.
And now I've just transferred that into Web3. So now I'm just always trying to figure out what the next project is or what's trending and what's not. So it's like, is this continuation? Like, I'm so, like, in this rut of, like, I've always tried to figure out what the news is, and then now I get in this space and I just cannot stop. Like, I just do it. And so, like, for me, like, what I have been doing is just turning off notifications off Twitter, because that's usually what gets me, is the notification pop-ups.
Yeah.
And then that usually is helping me a lot. And, like, the notification will pop up, then it's out of sight, out of mind, and I stop thinking about it. So
That's good, dude. That's the first
I
step.
got to
So.
do it. Yeah, I got to do something, man, because it's not healthy.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. You'll get better at it, and especially when your son gets older, you guys are gonna
Yeah.
be doing more stuff together, and it's just gonna get so exciting. All right, dude. So to end the show, you get to leave the audience and the viewers with one final thought, whatever you want, and then one question.
One final thought. Well, the final thought, since this is a this is a happy hour, right? Hyped happy hour. And then we haven't really talked NFTs, right? So
A little bit, but you can talk about it.
Yeah, so NFTs is that I feel like NFTs are, the technology is going to take over the world, and it's going to be integrated into every aspect of our life. Everything in the world is going to have a token tied to it, and token gated experiences are going to be everything. And the sooner everybody realizes this, the better we are as like a civilization and a consumer, because NFTs empower the consumer, and corporations are the one that are being empowered now. So just imagine when they give us the power and the consumer the power. And my question to everybody is, like, when are you going to figure out how to integrate an NFT into your life? And then when you do, that's when you know you're there, and how we're going to move into this next space, because no one is realizing, like, the technology is there. And this is like literally the invention of paper. Like, paper is made, you can use paper for art, but you can also make paper for contracts and paper for literature. Paper is used for everything. This is just a new form of digital paper that's actually verified on a blockchain. So like, how are you as a consumer going to integrate NFTs in your life? And then once you do that, then we can move on to the next phases of Web3. But we have to get everybody realizing that NFTs empower us and that we need to try to figure out how we're going to integrate into everybody's lives. And then once everybody does that, then I think us as a civilization and humanity will be better off, because we're giving a lot of power to these corporations and they don't give us a lot of power, but NFTs are going to power the consumers for once. And that's what we need.
Fucking love it. I love
Yes,
it.
sir.
So did you intertwine your question with that?
Yeah, it was basically perfectly meshed together. So how are you as a consumer going to integrate NFTs into your life?
Clip it, post it, love it. Oh my gosh, that was fire. Oh, that was good, dude. That was good. Listen, this was great. This was Hyped Happy Hour episode 12 with my man XPRESSO. Follow him, love him, be in his spaces. He's out here giving you daily alpha every single day, but honestly, being a good dude, being a good husband, being a good dad, just providing value in life. And he's out here being the best fucking FedEx driver I've ever seen. So let's go. We're riding. We're on a mission to make positivity louder. Thanks for listening to the Hyped Happy Hour. This is episode 12. We're never going to stop. I'm out here living the dream. Thanks.
Peace.